Hi, everyone. I pray that all of you are doing well. Happy Saturday. So I just want to encourage you all to be content in the season that God has you in, to be content in the season that God has you in, whether you're unemployed, whether you're homeless, whatever that situation is, whether you have a job and it's not enough, be content in whatever season that God has you in. Be content. That's what's on my heart. I believe God is dealing with me and being content, in the season that I'm in. I'm in a wilderness season. I've been in the wilderness for a while. I've been in the wilderness season. I've also been unemployed for a while. And it has not been easy. It has been challenging. Financially, it has not been easy. And I just be praying for God to just help me to just, be content in this season. I need to be more content. So I'm just encouraging you all to be content in the season that God has you in, to know that God didn't promise us an easy life. He didn't promise us a cakewalk, but he promised to be with us. He promised to be with us. He promised that he'll never leave nor forsake us. Be content in this season. Be content in this season. Even though I'm unemployed, even though I'm in the wilderness, God still provides for me. Just like the Israelites, God still provides for me. And I'm just forever grateful. Just this week I was praying and just crying out to God to provide for me, because I was literally almost out of food. Just being transparent, I was almost out of food and I had $17 and change left to get some food. And plus I needed other things as well that were non-food. And I was just praying and crying out to God to provide. And when I checked my bank account on Thursday, I had a random deposit, an unexpected deposit for $28.50. And it had hit my account Wednesday evening, but I didn't see it until Thursday when I checked my bank account. And I just thank God showed up right on time, and I was able to use that to get me some groceries and some things I needed. So I just was just so grateful for God providing, because I had a little bit of money, but I just didn't have enough. And God came through right on time and he provided. And I was able to go get me some groceries and other things I needed. And I was just so grateful, just the way that God just provides for me, how God just makes sure I have everything I need, even in this season. This season financially, it has not been easy. It's not easy not knowing where your next is coming, being in uncertainty, being out of money, being in lack, or whatever you want to call it, as far as financially. But I may not have everything I want in this season, but I have everything I need. And I just want to encourage you all to just be content, to be content in this season that you're in. It may not be easy, but be content in this season.